Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi,
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
This is Derrick.
So this is Derrick. This is the famous Derrick from Big Brother that I spent
Hey, what's
many a
up,
night
guys?
watching on TV.
How's it going? Hey, I apologize for being a little late. Meetings run late, but I'm hoping I'm catching you guys at a good time.
No,
Yeah, you are, absolutely.
absolutely.
Perfect.
I mean,
Perfect.
it's great to talk to someone from Big Brother, from one of our favorite TV shows, and we're really excited here in Fall River because we've got a local Fall River guy that's going to be on Big Brother.
That you do. I actually, funny quick story about your new participant. He actually came to the open call in Rhode Island at Twin River, where I was actually there, and I actually remembered him going through. So it's funny to see him go all the way through the process and actually make it on, because I know how difficult the process is. So it's cool that we actually had somebody, obviously from Massachusetts, but also who came through the Rhode Island audition. So that's good that we have somebody representing again this year.
So,
Absolutely.
So let me ask you this. So you're telling me you've already saw the guy. You know what it takes to win it because you're a winner.
Right.
So, I mean, my daughter who's sitting in front of me says, hey, I got to cheer for this guy. He's from Fall River. I got to cheer for him. But
are you?
But are you?
Am I going to cheer for him?
Or-
Listen, I'm gonna cheer for the guy who I think is there to play the game. And what I know from past experiences, you can't judge people by their interviews or by how they look. Yeah, he did good in his auditions, but when you step in that house and you have to play that game, they lock that door behind you. You become a different person, and you have to be ready to do what it takes to win. Because I know there's going to be people in there that are.
But Derrick,
So
you did it with integrity
we'll
too.
We'll see. We'll see how he shapes up. We'll see what he brings to the table when he faces the adversities, and if he's able to overcome that. Absolutely, I'm going to root for the local guy.
Well, and in all honesty, I mean, I've watched it for a lot of years, and I have to give you a compliment. You won, and you did things the right way. There was a lot,
And
of
you
things
were never on the block.
There was a lot of
Correct.
things you could. You were a stand-up person from what we saw, and I'm very, I'm glad to say, hey, you're from our area.
Absolutely, I appreciate it. And I was not only representing myself, but I was representing my family and my career and stuff like that. My occupation. So I had a lot of things to consider and different variables to consider when I made decisions as far as what I said and the moves I made. And I was fortunate enough to have a pretty clean game and be the first person to win without ever going on the block. So I'm extremely proud of it.
Now, talking about Jason's plans for the house, he plans on having an all-girl alliance. Do you think that that's going to work, or do you think that...
Yeah. I heard him say that. He said something about being the glue of the alliance, if I heard correctly.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I mean, again, in theory, it sounds great. But again, when I went in that house, I didn't have anything, but I wanted to solidify one solid alliance with one person, because when you have too many people, loose lips sink ships, and that's what can happen. So I don't know if you should go in there with a mindset set on one specific thing, like, hey, I'm going to align with the girls, because if he gets in there and the girls are a bunch of train wrecks, which I don't know if they will be or not, obviously you don't want to attach yourself to that. So I think you have to be adaptable and go with what feels right at the time and not be too tunnel vision going in there, because it could hurt his game before it even starts.
So Derrick, with all this, doing this at Big Brother, you considering a career in
politics?
Political negotiations, teaching politics, how to run it?
I'll tell you, it's funny the offers you get when you get out of the show and based on the game that I played. And I'm definitely working on some things. I can't get into too much right now is what I'm doing, but I definitely received some cool offers when I got off the show that haven't really happened to some past house guests. So I'm extremely fortunate in that. I'm hoping they come to fruition, and if they do, I'm excited for the new journey. But as of right now, man, I'm just enjoying life, working, getting ready for this premiere. I'm going to be out in New York for the premiere. So I'm excited. It's going to be a good time.
Make sure you stay in touch with us, because
absolutely. And I actually have one more question for you. Did you feel that like all of Rhode Island and most of Massachusetts was rooting for you in the house, or were you like?
I'll tell you what. That's a great question. I'll be honest with you. When you get in there, you lose track that you're in a game show that people are watching. You start focusing on the other 15 people in my season that were in the house. But I'll tell you what, there was a point in the season where they let us see our family members on video. And it was my wife and my daughter, and at one point she said, hey, we're all rooting for you back here in Rhode Island. And it completely became apparent to me at that point that there was an entire state and a region, essentially, that was rooting for me to win, because I was representing all of us. And
absolutely,
it's good that I didn't think about that the whole time, because that's just the added pressure that you don't need. But the support and the love that I've received since I've gotten home and it's just been amazing. It's been unbelievable, actually.
I will tell you, as soon as I saw the Central Falls police car, I was freaking out. I was like, oh my goodness, this guy's from Rhode Island. He has my vote. He's winning this entire game.
That's the New England mentality, man. We're very, it's like the Boston sports, the New England sports, like it. We're very, very true to our hometowns, and I'm sure Jason's going to have the same support as long as he represents himself in a way that he goes in there wanting to represent. Because there's a bad side to Big Brother too, and we've seen it with previous seasons where if you go in there and you lose yourself too much, you can become the villain very quickly. So it depends on what he wants to do, what quote unquote character he wants to play, and I think that's going to dictate a lot of what happens to him in that game. But he has the tools; they all have the tools, or they wouldn't have gotten that far.
Absolutely.
It's how they use them once they get in the game.
Well, season 8, we did learn that the villain sometimes wins.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. The villain can absolutely win. There's multiple strategies you can implement to win the game. It's just a matter of, are people going to love you when you win, or are people going to hate you
when you win?
Yeah. Yeah, but at the end of the day, man, you win that $500K, you're not going to really care too much.
Let's be honest. The first one from the area was Richard Hatch to win. And,
Yep.
You can win, and, the people don't like you, or you can win and be a hero. So, I mean, that's what it really comes down to. I think it's about being the right person and
Right.
who you betray. Hey, hopefully we can stay in touch with you. Hopefully you can call in every once in a while to keep us up to date with Big Brother. Hey, and enjoy the premiere in New York.
I absolutely will. And I just want to pass one more thing on to your viewers, man. When you're watching the show, remember, from a fan's perspective, remember that it's a game, and all these people have families and friends that are watching. And no, don't take it personal. There's no need for hate on social media.
Absolutely.
Enjoy the show. It's a game, because when these people get out, it's only a game. If
Yep.
you keep that in mind and remember that it's fun, everyone's going to enjoy the season, I promise you.
All right, I have
Absolutely.
one quick question for you.
Go for it.
Did you know when After Dark was on the air, or no?
No, we had an idea because we started to figure out the time. See, it starts at 2 o'clock, I believe, here no, it starts at midnight.
It starts
here.
at midnight, yeah.
And midnight in the East Coast. So that was 9 o'clock on the West Coast. So yeah, we knew at 9 o'clock. Oh, After Dark's on. What up, After Dark? We throw it out there, but you're essentially on camera 24/7. But we would try to put on
Another
little things
show.
here and there, for the After Dark people. But yeah, no, you're definitely aware of it. That's
All right, well, we have to take a break right now.
Thanks for calling in.
Thank you so much for calling in.
It was a pleasure talking to you guys. You take care.
Thank you. Bye.
You too.